My name is Sorka Finucane, and I'm with TrainedIn. And this webinar is being sponsored by Taste for Success SkillNet, so thank you very much to them. And the purpose of this webinar, I suppose, is to use registered providers who are on the TrainedIn platform and help them to get their message across, who they are, what they do, and how they can help you in these times. So that's why we're offering free webinars. And I suppose Paul will introduce you, and who are you? Tell people who you are.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Paul McDermott, and I'm the creative director of Social Video HQ. So, in a sentence, my background: I've over 10 years experience in video production. I've been putting videos online for the last 10 years in different businesses. Social Video HQ is a year and a half old. And basically at our core, we learn about what our clients' businesses are and what their business story is and how that relates to the type of messages and the type of content they're trying to relate to their target audience. And we do this through brand videos, social media videos, animations, and also training for business people so they can learn how to speak on camera effectively, and also training so they can use these amazing mobile phones that we have now. And with the equipment,
Paul, as well, there's so many training companies out there at the moment that because they can't run in-house training, that they need to do to go onto video and run video content online.
Absolutely, and like I just know from one of my colleagues, she came to one of my workshops. She's using her mobile phone, and she has just created a week-long video course that from her mobile phone with the mic. So it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. Great. So what were the general terms before the coronavirus? What happened with how much were online sales for online training?
Yeah, so that good question, Sorka. Online sales in 2019 were expected to be to grow 12.9% to 2.2 billion in Ireland. Wow. 2024, 3.8 billion. Okay, wow. So that's the trajectory. And now, because of what's happened, so you can imagine that everybody's online now. Everybody's communicating more online. We are becoming more au fait with how we do that. In China during the lockdown, a lot of industries were badly hit. And I heard this story from a video creator over in the UK, and I researched it. And one industry that did better in the downturn in Wuhan, particularly, was the cosmetics industry. So really? Yeah. So a lot of shops they had to close down, and what they did was all of the makeup artists that were in the shops, instead of just sending them home, they sent them home, but got them online doing live streaming of products and all that. And some companies, their sales went up compared to if they had the shops open. Okay. So because everybody's online and people still want to buy cosmetics and all that, so they pivoted very well. Now, not all businesses are like my own. We can't pivot that much as such, but we can definitely look at now and when we come out of this, how we can better communicate to a wider audience using video.
Okay, great. So listen, I suppose tell us what's going to happen today. What are you taking us through, and what are we going to cover?
Okay, so the topics today. So we have use of video as a marketing tool, talking to your audience, what works. We have animations, talking about them because you can do them without meeting anybody. So if you're on top of your products or services, we have smartphone video production and live streaming.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Okay, so we'll crack on. Okay, so with use of video, it is different for all businesses, and these are some of the key questions you need to ask, right? So when I sit down with clients, I always go, what's your business plan? Because it's not about where you are now. where you think your business is going to be in 5 years and how you're aiming to get there. Okay. And all your content should be aiming in that direction as well. I also, straight away, I ask businesses, what's your USP? Circa, what's TrainedIn's USP?
Well, TrainedIn is a free to sign up, number one. It's a marketplace that's dedicated to training and consultancy providers across the entire spectrum. So anything from senior board level management, technical skills, health and safety, all across to the everyday person. So anything from nutrition, health and wellness and well-being to personal training and tutors. So we're catering for everybody. The idea of TrainedIn is to put small, medium, large and freelance business all on the same level platform with equal access to market. So I suppose that's it where we are.
That's USP. And we really have to know our USP because if we're trying to communicate to an audience and to set ourselves apart, right? So that's very important. So I always talk to my clients, I say, why do you get clients and why do you keep clients? Okay, these are important questions that you need to know when you're making your videos, and it has to underline the content that you're making. And another important thing that I often say to clients is, what's the anti-story? And what I mean by that is, when somebody hits your site or hits your social media, what things are going through their mind that would make them not contact you or not hire you or not buy your service? And every business has it. And you also have to address that in your content that you're creating online, because you want to any fears that they have, or questions, you want to answer them in the content. Also, again, staying on the idea of use of video, you want to, when you're creating content, you're not creating content for the whole YouTube world. You're just creating content for your audience. So you need to know who your audience are, and you need to talk directly to them. So if your target is over 50, middle income, you need to know the type of person you're speaking to when you're creating your content, okay? And keep that in your mind, because if you keep that in your mind, your content it'll just have way more traction.
Okay. So create something that they're going to be interested in and will engage them.
Absolutely. Okay. Like, don't try and be young and hip and all that kind of stuff when you're talking if you're talking to an older audience, so you got to remember that. So then just if you're creating a brand video for your website, you need to know how, instead of saying all the things we're good at, right? You need to look at it from the client's perspective and think that all the things that they want and need. And sometimes it doesn't really match. Sometimes, a low waiting time in a dentist can be more important to the client than having the new offices. Okay. So when you're creating things, always thinking from the client's perspective rather than, you listing off what you think you're good at. Okay. So that's really important. Then if you're creating social media videos, the new trend, and I try and operate this way as well, is that you're not on your social media videos. So on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on these kind of things, you're not selling. Okay. This is the trend, right? You're offering information that your target audience will find interesting. Okay. And if they find it interesting, and if they think of you as an expert in that area, eventually, because now we're talking about how many times before somebody hires somebody, it's all these different points of contact. It's like 8 or 10 on your social media. So basically it's bubbling away. So let's say you have a garden furniture business. So you're talking about, planting seedlings in the spring and all that. So people begin to associate you with gardening. So that eventually when they go, we need to buy some stuff for our garden, they will go there because you are the expert in their mind. Okay. Yeah. So, and also you give information that benefits. The social media videos, they don't have to be as polished as the brand video. Okay. I make a lot of ones with, I have this gear out with me. So that's my mobile phone on a motorized gimbal, and I have a mic there. And
Wow.
I bring it to meetings, to events, and I just do in the moment kind of videos with people talking about their businesses, helping them promote their business, or if I'm at an event that people are interested in.
And are they easy to use, Paul? Is that something that someone like me could use and make a decent video out of?
Absolutely, yeah, because it's set up. It's not professional equipment. It's consumer equipment. So it's set up pretty simply, and more importantly, the price points are really good because they're producing the mics and the gimbals for the consumer market. So this is an Osmo gimbal. So these guys make drones and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's 123 euros, including VAT, for a motorized gimbal. And that's the most expensive thing.
And can you give us some tips and everything on where to get all of these things?
Absolutely. So in my offer on our thing here today.
Oh, yes.
So basically, if you contact me and give me your email, I have a full list of apps that I use for the mobile phone, and I'll talk about that more in a minute, actually. Equipment, services that I use as well. So there's one called rev.com, which I use for all my captions, because we need captions when we do our social media videos, so because people scroll with the sound off. So all that kind of stuff. But I'll come to that in a minute, actually. So
I'm just looking at our poll here that people have come back on.
Yeah.
So we have 20% of people are looking to use it for smartphone video production training. 50% of people are looking for live streaming and Zoom, which is, I suppose, where we are at the moment is not surprising. And 30% of people looking for filming workshops.
Okay, so
that is not surprising considering where we are at the moment.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll skip the animations then, and we'll go into live streaming first. Okay. So just to finish up with social media videos, one of my ethos at the moment is document, don't create. Okay, so for you guys, for making your social media videos, you're thinking, oh, I've got to make a post and all that, but actually use your week. So like last weekend, we painted the offices here, and I got this new sign of Social Video HQ. I created a post about that and put it on LinkedIn, and people interacted with that because you're beginning to show them a bit about yourself. Okay. If I'm at an event and it's really good, I do a quick video at the end of the event saying it's really good and tag in the people that are there and the event itself. These are the ways that you do it. It's called document, don't create. And it's just a way of creating posts without having to go, oh, what am I going to do this week?
Yeah, makes sense.
You start to work it into your general week. So that's that. So because a lot of people are interested in live streaming and Zoom, I'm gonna quickly come down to the live streaming element. So first of all, disclaimer: before the downturn lockdown, I never live streamed. Okay, at the moment I'm set up here with my DSLR camera, so a proper camera. I have it on a little tripod on the desk, and I have my HDMI cable running straight into my computer. I have a video card, and I'm using some software as well. And I have my lights set up, so I have lighting set up as well. So, I suppose the problem now is that everybody bought all the stuff that's recommended, right? So the video card I used is way down the line of recommended video cards. So that might, and getting correct mics are, I think there's really good ones where you have the headphones there and the mic is here. Again, most of them are sold out. So the main problem is you have to do a lot of research to try and find stuff that's still available. If you send me an email, I can email you the ones that I've used, so that if you want to set your own home studio up, and I'm available for consultations as well. Okay, so if anybody needs particular help. But it is doable, and there's like, you just go to YouTube and tap in set up live streaming with my DSLR camera, and there's so many different tutorials there as well. So it is doable. You can really get yourself set up as soon as you can get the stuff ordered. But if you do have a DSLR camera, you can't plug it straight into your computer without having a little box that's called a video card. And once you have that, you run one cable in and one cable out, and you can plug it into your computer. So what else would I say about live streaming?
Fred has just asked a question there. What mic are you using? Yeah,
so I what I've done is I've just had one of my camera mics, and I've plugged it straight into the camera. The advantage of doing that is that everything stays in sync. Sometimes when you plug your mic straight into the computer, it might go out of sync a bit. There is software that can help that, but I'm just using a normal camera mic. I have ordered a headset that I found. So the headsets are very good for us because we're in offices or we're at home and people are talking or there's noise in the background. And a lot of the headsets that you see where people have this and a mic here, they're really good because they have noise cancellation on them, so that only your voice is coming through and not all the background noise. Again, I can send on a link to one that hopefully is going to arrive in the next while. I'll see. With things are a bit slow at the moment. But what you'll find is in the last 2 weeks, a lot of that stuff has gone out. I bought some stuff that is still there, and I would happily share those links with people as well.
Seamus has just asked another question then. So how successful is live streaming from a laptop camera?
Okay, so that's a really good question, because we've all been on Zoom calls now, and we've seen some varying results. I have a webcam as well, and
I'm streaming right now from my laptop camera.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the quality is like for the people on the chat.
Yeah. Well, it looks good to me here, and basically, what do you need to do? Okay, so try and shoot in a place where the light's not going up and down. So don't sit beside a window, right? With the blinds open, because if the sun comes out, it'll blast light on. Now, Zoom will work with your camera, but it only can work so much. And so what I would say is think about your background. So obviously I do think about background. If in doubt, have a blank wall, okay? And try and have your lighting consistent, okay? So don't have lights coming from the background, because that'll make your face dark, okay? And our shadows, exactly. So there you go, okay, yeah.
Sorry.
You're learning.
We planned this.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to to go on. But so have lights on the front that are consistent, that are coming down in your face, and then think about your background. And what I would say is, as regards background, if you're unsure, a plain wall. That's it. That's the way to go. And then I just want to make sure that I've got everything. So just for people that are live streaming and are doing Zoom, there is a piece of software called OBS, right? All the live streamers use it, okay? And OBS, I noticed when I started hooking up my camera to my computer, the image wasn't that good with Zoom, just coming through the computer. But I open OBS first, and there is a plugin you can download. OBS is free, and the plugin is called Virtual Camera, which is free also. You just put it on, and then you can use OBS as your computer camera, and the picture is really good. So that's just a little tip for people who are on Zoom and maybe think that the image isn't that good. Try and run it through OBS.
Okay. And Stephen's just asked another question there. What are the thoughts on using a green screen and virtual background for live streaming?
Okay, so I'm not a fan of green screen. Some people are, and it has to be done very well so that it doesn't look super fakey. Now I know Zoom, you can put your logo on the background, and I think it does.
Made that point. I just said that Zoom allows you to do that.
Yeah, and it does work to a good degree, as long as you're not moving around too much, because parts of you can start disappearing. But like on Zoom calls, I don't think it matters a whole lot, because we all know the kind of situation we're in at the moment. So our tolerance levels are pretty good. But I'm talking more if you're talking to clients a bit and you want that air of professionality, keeping as professional as you can. But yeah, you can put the backgrounds in with Zoom. Yeah. So I know we're really running through time here. So so I'm just going to talk about using your mobile phone. Okay. So Sorka, you use your mobile phone a good bit for your business stuff.
I do.
How do you find it?
I find it, apart from the fact I hate being on camera, I find it it's easy to, well, it's not easy. It's I put a video up on LinkedIn, I think it was last week sometime, and I made the mistake of putting my back to the light instead of facing the light, so it looked dark. So I suppose there's always those tips and things that you need to think about before you dive in and do something. And then I suppose I was looking at the forgiveness that's out there at the moment for doing a faux pas like that. But also there's so many different tools that you can use for editing your own videos out there at the moment as well, which are free and they're really good. So I think it's definitely a way to go. I'll definitely be using more video content, but to be able to do it more efficiently and more effectively is something that I need to work on, which you can only do with practice. So
yeah. And you have to set up the flow that works better for you. So like you can edit your videos on your phone using KineMaster app. So like our phones are fantastic, right? So like they're great devices. So a couple of like top tips I would give is don't use the camera on your phone, use an app. I use Open Camera app. There's Filmic Pro. There's a few different ones that you can use. Yeah. So like, because our cameras are set up very automatic, right? So when the lighting changes, the lighting goes up and down, right? But when you use a camera app, you can lock the exposure so it doesn't go up and down. Okay. So again, it looks a bit more professional. You know, that kind of way. And a mic like this, which I recommend, it's €20. Okay. And so all of a sudden your production values go through the roof, because it's not that echoey room sound. It's a lot better. So you use a camera app, use a mic, and keep it steady. Okay, so that there are some really good things to think about. And I suppose what I like to say to a lot of people who are thinking about making the first videos, and you're right, we do hate our first videos, right? Like when I made my first videos 10 years ago, I had a wedding video business, and I made some of my own videos. I was going like, oh God, the sound of my voice. Do I sound like that? Now it's taken me 10 years and I'm okay with the sound of my voice, which is maybe a good or a bad thing. But that what I like to say to all my clients is, it's not just for extroverts, right? I have clients who wouldn't be into this at all, who would be quite reserved maybe, but it's a taught skill, okay? And the main thing is just do it. Do your first video. Put it up there, have a look at it. If you don't like it, you can delete and you can start again, okay? And so basically my main ethos is, no matter who you are, you can get up to it. And don't be thinking that it has to be 1,000% perfect for your first video. It's like a constant learning. You just get better and better. So create a video. People, if the content is good, if you're giving some expertise, people will be interested. Okay, if it's about yourself as well. So don't be worrying too much about, there was something in the background that looked a bit wrong, whatever. If what you're making is of interest, it'll work. Okay.
Yeah.
And you get better as you go along. And what I would like this, what I think is always be looking in the camera. I know sometimes people look off doing interview style things. Look straight into the camera, because we are a YouTube generation and we're used to speaking to people like this. Okay. Be yourself is the main thing, right? So what I like to say is, think of something that you're really passionate about that you do outside of work. You know, like I like going to watch rugby. I'm really into watching rugby. I follow Leinster. And have a chat with somebody about it. And when you're chatting, your hands are moving.
You're animated.
You're animated, right? And we're all business owners. We're all into our businesses. That's why we do this. So when you're speaking about your business, let it go. Speak about it in the same way, right? That's the most important thing. So I know we're probably running out of time.
Yeah. A couple more questions. Brenda's asked, what's the name of the app used for the camera?
So I use, for Android, I use one called Open Camera. That's free. And actually there's another one, I think I've just downloaded it. It's a tenner. It's called Filmic. I think it's Filmic Pro. I'll have to check that up actually. That's on both the Android and Apple phones. Yeah. And so it's about a tenner, but they're great. So you can actually set up the type of video, the audio, you can lock all the settings, and you can have in-light, daylight, white balance and all that. So they really just supercharge your phones. Yeah. But Open Camera is a really good one.
Okay. And Murin has asked a recommendation for a mic.
Yeah. So it's the Boya mic. It's on Amazon. BOYA, and it's for cameras and for phones. Again, anybody who's on here, just in my offer, hit the contact, give me your email, and I'll send you out the full list. Okay, so that'll be the mics, the apps, services that I use as well. So you were talking, Sorka, about speeding up things. Like there's one called rev.com.
Okay.
So instead of typing out captions, and we all need captions because people are scrolling through the phones with the sound off. So they need to know what you're talking about to click into it. Okay. So if there's no captions, they don't know what you're talking about. They will scroll past. So Rev is, you basically make your video, you upload the video to them. It's like $1 a minute, and they send you back captions that you can edit and download. So you don't have to type out that. They give you the file. So when you go onto LinkedIn, you upload your video and your SRT file.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, it just speeds things up, and that's it. You know, you don't want to because video is not that thing now where you make one video and it's there for a year. Video is just, we just have to get used to using it on a constant basis.
It's going to be just an everyday way of life at this stage.
Yeah, it's how we talk to our audience, you know? Yeah.
We have a couple of more questions coming in, Paul. Jerry's just asked, he'd love to hear about animation. So if you have another few minutes, could we hang on? Yeah, that's fine. If anybody else needs to jump off, that's totally fine as well. Bridie has just asked, I put the offer out for the TrainedIn platform. Yes, TrainedIn is free to sign up to. And we're giving away free commission for the next 2 months. And if we need to extend that for a little bit, we can do that as well. So it's free to sign up and showcase your services, and the platform will be launching next week, which is exciting. I'll put Paul's offer back up there again in case anybody has missed that, and you can pop in your email addresses to get his list of tips.
And so if even if you're not going through the offer, you can message me on LinkedIn or just send me an email from my website, and I'll just send that back to you. And then, because this is an ever-evolving thing, I'm actually looking at a new online editing tool that's fantastic. It's called Kapwing. It's brand new. It's like a startup. So there's problems with it, but it's really good in one way. You can upload a video, and it has an automated caption tool in it. So I'm looking at that at the moment. But that's the thing, because what I think is good now 2 months down the line, it's going to have changed again. So periodically, I send updates as well.
Fantastic. That's amazing, Paul.
Yeah.
If there's any other questions before we move on to the animation piece, and if you need to jump off, just pop them through really quickly. Yeah, Bridie, yes. So TrainedIn will be heavily marketed. The idea is that we're going to become recognized as a go-to place for training and consultancy services. So we'll heavily market the platform that and drive traffic and potential clients. So anybody in the training or consultancy business can showcase their business and services. That could be online training, in-house training, or public training courses. So I know a lot of those are being on hold at the moment, but that's what I'm going to do. Yes, Jerry, we're being recorded. We'll send you the links so that you can either share it or re-watch it and re-listen to all these useful tips from Paul. Yeah, so it's fantastic. So do you want to jump on to the animation, Paul?
Yeah, so just very quickly. So animations, right? What's the beauty of them, right? So for a business person, it's your lack of work, right? So like if you're making a brand video and you've got to be speaking in front of camera maybe and stuff like that, you don't have to do that with animations. You just basically have a discovery meeting with the likes of me. And we go through all those things, your USP, your anti-story and all that, maybe work with your marketing people as well, so that we're on message. And then we take it away. So then we create a script, and everything is done very iterative process, right? So it's not like the client goes, I want an animation, and next thing, a month or two later, an animation pops up. No, it's like we work through the scripts together, then we do our storyboards, and the client approves as we go along. We use Irish voiceover artists as well, which I think is very important because we've seen some of the cheaper animations online with like a weird computerized American voice.
Yeah,
it's not really how you want your brand to be associated with.
So if I give you a script about who I am and what I do, you turn it into the little characters as an explainer video.
Exactly. So what, like, generally what I do is I kind of work out what the client wants, and then I write the script, and then I send them the first draft, and then they will obviously kind of go, okay, I want to put this term in here or change it around. But generally it's on form because we'll have done the meeting, and we'll have laid out what they're about and who they're talking to and what they want to say, and it shows your brand off very well as well, because some of us work from home, some of us work in industrial estates and all that, but actually you can make it colorful, use your logos and your brand colors and all that, and it really does make your business and your brand look good. And professional, and it's excellent for talking about services. The services you have, because you've got your voiceover and you've images, so you can really clear, we do this, we do that. You can talk about your USP, and like I did one for a contact center last year. So they're based here in Ireland. They do a really good job, like for out of hours, sick leave stuff. They do phone calls. They do a lot of other services as well. But when we were chatting, we were saying like, what's the anti-story? And one of the main ones was when people came on the website, they're wondering, is this company in Ireland, or are these calls being shipped out abroad, right? Yeah. So as we went through the animation, we said right here in Ireland, and we just had an emblem of Ireland with their logo in the middle, and that just we didn't say, oh, we're not abroad, but we said so that people straight away, as they're watching this 1 minute animation, we were answering their questions as well. Great. Yeah.
Well, I could potentially do that for TrainedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like, it's fantastic for explaining. Exactly. You've got to explain in the shortest period of time in the best way, because it's colorful and it can be it's engaging. It can be a story. You can really play around with it. I've just done one for a client, and I'm in the middle of doing with a series for them, and they want to set themselves up as experts. So we've done kind of more playful, actually. We're talking about a more serious subject, but we've introduced different characters and made it a bit more playful as well.
Amazing. Right. Here's another question for you. I have somebody who I was talking to earlier on today, actually, and they are in different parts of the country. They're a group, and they want to put together a video story, but nobody can meet up at the moment. So they all have to video themselves individually. And then they want to put all of their little video clips together as one story. Can you do that?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, like because I was just researching, right? There's lots of free video editing software. Again, I'll put this on my big list. Okay, I did a bit of research yesterday. I was looking for a client. So there's one I came across, and I'm just trying to remember the name of it. That was really good. Sorry, it's the name will lose me now. It's highly recommended, as in it works on all types of laptops, so you don't need a supercharged laptop. Actually, sorry, this one, it's a free trial, but then it's 50 or 60 euros lifetime cost for the software. But I downloaded the software and it worked really well. So basically, if you want to create a story, you have all your different people with their videos. They send it to one person, and you have a very simple. There's online video editors as well, where you just put them together and you make a video. What's the beauty of YouTube and all that now is if you pick one of these free tools, like that, there's so many tutorials out there. You just have to tap in what you want to do, and away you go.
Jerry has just asked a question there, and he said, how much ballpark does 1 minute of animation cost?
Yeah, Jerry, if you want to message me, and we can look at that. Okay, so it does depend on a few factors.
Paul is a politician in his other life. I think that's it. Is there anything else that you need to add, Paul, or does anybody else have any more questions?
So just before we finish up, I just want to say, all of the things I talked about there, don't worry about having not written them down. Just, I can send them out to you, okay, to anybody that's there, and anybody else that that's not on this webinar. Also, discovery meetings with me are free at the moment. So, and they're always free, actually. So that's where we sit down and do the full 40 minutes, hour, and go through your business and talk about USP and all that.
What's your email address, Paul?
It's hello at socialvideohq.ie.
Perfect.
And again, that'll be in my contacts there. And also I'm doing discounted video consultations as well. So if you have specific questions, you can send me content, and then we can actually do a proper consultation on that as well. And in the next week, I'm releasing videos. So they're on smartphone video, content and technical stuff, live streaming, and editing. This new tool that I'm looking at, Kapwing, I'm just going to do a little how-to video on that, among other things. So look on LinkedIn. I'll be on YouTube as well, and Facebook, but primarily on LinkedIn. If you start following me, you'll see the videos coming out over the next week.
Fantastic. That's amazing, Paul. Thank you so much for your time and for coming on here. And thanks to everybody for signing up and for giving us your time. It's been great to have you, and thanks for your interaction. We have Paul McDermott from Social Video HQ, and I'm Sorka Finucane from TrainedIn. So if anybody wants to drop me an email, it's sorka@trainedin.ie. And if you want to get Paul on again for anything more specific, we can arrange that. Or if there's anything else that we can help you to get through these times, let me know, and we will organize it and schedule something in as soon as possible. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Seamus, Bridie, Jerry, Dawn. Who else? Jim, Muireann, Brenda, Stephen. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. Ciao for now. We'll talk to you soon, and everybody stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.